From the Bishop to Apostolic Church, just contributed 10,000 rand to the education. As we said, there are others who will get half bursaries. Now we're going to call their names. Matume William Maraula. Okay, we have the twins. And it's amazing that the twins are working very well, all of them. The first one, Noah Chikovi. The first twin. And Mary Chikovi. Mary Chikovi. We want the sister Mary Chikovi. Where is Mary? Let's go that side. Mary? This way. A bit. Wait. Is
this a half bursary or
half bursaries? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And because after a vote of thanks, you are not going to say anything. Just a few announcements. There is refreshments outside because most of you remember we are schooling after when they came here, because I came here. 2 for all the students. Our Tshabalala Awards. We remain behind. I gave a Kumisani no Mamudi Puo. Our one is with a check. I was one nini. I guess I'm a pass my check. See now we're upside a city so I change. So embarrassing. Because you get APSA phoning and say, didn't you explain? This is a dump. So you'll get, who should you call, who what you get your check.
On behalf of all the community of Alex, I have worked with our Premier for many years in different capacities. And I know that his number one priority is education. As a chairperson of education in the legislature, we get the biggest slice. He gives us more money than any other department. And when we run short, we go back to him, he still approves more money. So we are lucky to have a premier who is serving in the trust, trying to ensure that the people of Alex, those who want to grab these opportunities are able to do so. And ensures also that the whole province is able to benefit. The education in the province as a whole is improved. So we are very lucky, and I'd like you to give him a big hand for his efforts in that. But let me tell you something also, that with all his efforts in education, that you won't see in the media. Normally his efforts in education is downplayed and other things are just raised and so on. But I must say in this province we are lucky to have a person like him who really has this passion in education. That many doors are opened, but there are few kids who want to pass through those doors. So we're going to invite you, the kids in Alex, to use all these opportunities that are open to you to assist us, because our business here is nothing else but to ensure that all our kids have got a bright future. So all these things that you see in politics, you see us making noise there for only one thing only, to ensure that our kids have got a brighter future, have got opportunities that we never had before. So we are lucky here with Vincent Tshabalala Trust, the opportunities that they are opening up for you, kids in Alex. So grab them on both hands. Let me take the challenge, Premier. You said we performed very well, very bad in Alex. We have already started with the principals. We've been talking why we performed very bad with all the resources that are here. We're working out on strategies to improve. And I believe that you will be ambassadors. Those of you who are here will ensure that in our schools we work hard. We must ensure this year that the teachers are teaching, the learners are learning, and the parents are playing their role in the education of their kids. The country needs you. And if we don't improve your education, I don't think we'll ever make it. We may do whatever in the country, but if the education system is not in order, we can kiss every opportunity a goodbye. A few weeks ago, we visited Alex High. The Youth Commission was there. They coined a slogan here in Alexander, and we're going to have that slogan throughout the country. It says, Lona Letlore, we are the future. And the other side will say, no one will take it away from us. No one can stop us that side. We are the future. Let's start here. We are the future. No one can stop us. We are the future. So you must be able to do that. So Premier, thank you very much for this. And we promise to do everything in our power to ensure that the opportunities that we have opened for the kids in Alex are utilized in earnest. And we will ensure that parents are involved in the education of their kids, and that all organizations are playing a role also to ensure that we build this country and make it a better place for everybody. Thank you very much, Program Director.
First of all, I'm happy, thankful, and privileged to share this experience with you, and I wish you well for your future studies. Most loving, kind, and gracious Father, the one who has created us and who has decreed a purpose for our life. Today we honor you also. We thank you for the life that you have given us. That is your gift to us. Our gift to you is to use our life diligently to bring honor to you and service to each other. For the greatest commandment is that we love you who have created us, and that we love each other as we love ourselves and as we wish to be loved. Today we have experienced again how through the sacrifice of a few who commit themselves to a greater cause, a higher purpose, can touch the lives and benefit and make a difference as an investment into the lives of the young leaders of tomorrow. We thank you for our history, that we have had young men like Vincent Tshabalala who have committed himself to make a change, a positive impact for his fellow human beings. And may we be inspired by them, by him and by others like him who have sacrificed the ultimate price, their life, so that today we can enjoy the benefit of the freedom and the privilege of our beautiful country. We thank you for those who serve in the trust and who through their sacrifices make the opportunities available. Bless them. Bless our government, the leaders, especially in this time, with wisdom and with vision and with courage. And now also may the young men and women who have been empowered, who have been capacitated by the bursaries, the support, may they go out and firstly be a beacon of hope and make the investment in themselves with self-belief so that they become wonderful, great future leaders to take our nation forward. And may they at the same time develop a servant attitude so that like they are being served today, they develop the desire to serve others through the commitment that they make to this cause. We thank you for your presence, we thank you for your grace, and we ask this all in your wonderful name. Amen.
My name is Paul Mashatile. I'm the chairman of the Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust. What we were doing today was to award bursaries to students who have done well in the various Alexander High Schools. There's Alexander High School, there's Realukhile, there's Minerva, there's East Bank High. We look at all these high schools and students who have the top matric results, we assist them, particularly those who come from families that are struggling. For this year, we are giving about 12 full bursaries to those kind of students, about 45,000 each per annum until they finish their degrees. But also we look at students who have a bit lower. We give them half bursaries of about 25,000. So all in all this year would have assisted more than 20 students. If you take others who have come through our program since 2004, we have about 27 students. So all in all, it will be about 47 students now who have benefited from the Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust. We will definitely grow these programs as they succeed. For now, we're focusing in Alex. We are encouraging other townships to do similar initiatives. And it's something that we're going to work on so that it doesn't only end in Alex. But education is a priority, especially in the Gauteng provincial government and the country as a whole. We want to make sure that our students have better education, they have skills, because if they do, they can contribute to growing the economy, they can be able to work with us as we transform our country to create a better life for all our people.
My role here today was to motivate the students, just to give them a bit of oomph in regard of motivation, re-emphasizing that motivation comes from within, and also to share a bit of responsibilities and the life that I came through in the difficult years that I went to school, where, you know, there was no buses and we used to walk on feet, and our parents were running around, being chased around by the regimes of that time. It was quite a tough time, but we thank God today we witness the fruits from one individual who gave his life for the good of the young ones of today.
Actually, I'm very honored because I was actually expecting a bursary, but then I didn't get one last year. But I'm very proud that I got this bursary because I did very well at matric, and yeah, that's it.
I am very happy. Especially, I like to thank St. Mary's because of if I wasn't attending there, I don't think that I would have received this bursary. Yeah, very happy.
What I'd give to the students who are currently at matric, I'd say to them, don't wait for the teachers to teach them. They'd rather learn for themselves. Yeah, that's it.
I like to say to them, they mustn't give up, because like it's very easy to give up. They must study very, very hard.
Yeah.
And if they have any Saturday school to go to, they must.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
St. Mary's arranges a Saturday school for the high schools in Alex, and has been doing so for 20 years. And every year we have two classes of matriculants, and I'm very pleased to see that 13 of our class of 2008 got Vincent Tshabalala bursaries today. Students are selected on academic ability because the aim of the program is to provide supplementary education to enable students in Alex to get enough marks to qualify to go to university. I'm so happy to see that some of these students who worked so hard and want to do something and uplift their communities have qualified for bursaries from the Vincent Tshabalala Foundation.
My role here in Alex is to ensure that education is taken seriously and that our kids learn and parents take care of their kids as well as the teachers teaching. In other ways, is to normalize education as a whole. But above all is to ensure that kids are able to take the opportunities that are presented to them by government, private sector, and any other person who has a passion in education. The significance of this bursary body, Vincent Education Trust, is that unlike other bursary bodies, this bursary body goes to the kids who need the money, goes to the kids who perform very well in schools and offer them bursaries, full bursaries. Unlike other bursary bodies, you have to apply and you have to wait whether you are successful or not. This one, if you work very hard, if you perform very well, you are guaranteed a bursary in Alexander. So we appreciate the contribution done by the Vincent Education Trust, and we believe that it will go a long way to motivating our kids, taking these opportunities, and also motivating other bodies, private sector, to contribute effectively to the education of our kids.
Amon is one of our beneficiaries, but there are quite a few in Maunganidze. They made speeches. So that the thing I'll be faceless, I want city, people are benefiting, and I'm not benefiting. You benefited from last year. What's the good symptom? There is a purpose of Tshabalala.
Dumelang. I'm one of the beneficiaries as a Vincent Tshabalala. And I had the opportunity of being chosen as one of the top performers from Alex. And I got this bursary. And then last year, Bangise University, and I passed, which is one thing I'm grateful for. But there's one thing that I can tell you. All these achievements I've done, it's not because I was just looking at other people and their achievements, but it's because I motivated myself, trying to take out myself of all the situations I'm in. Nkulele Alex, none in Kulela Kona, which is one thing I won't deny. But all I can say is that all of us have potential within us. It might be potential of being a taxi driver. Other taxi drivers are good, right? But sonke, we all have potential, and we can nurture the inner child. Le esponisa we do have potential. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Sipho Dingisa. I'm staying in Alex, like 16. I'm doing mechanical engineering at VETS. Vincent Tshabalala Trust ingisizile because without yona bengeke ngikhone kufana ma fees wami. Besides logo, Vincent Tshabalala yakhona ukunginika opportunity enkulu because benginama funds ngazi ukuthi I had good results like, but bengekho indlela ukuthi I could further up my studies. So they gave me opportunity right. So ngathi mina kulabantwana basangena matric because yibo esibheke bona ngabanika advice A1 ukuthi hard working, abantu abazoku-inspire ubabheke, like abantu abazoku-motivate, hlale nabantu abazokunika ma-advices angcono, because khona abantu abazoku-demotivate like Alexander siphuma disadvantaged background. So mawufika lapha, let's say ufika varsity, kunama challenges owafaceayo. All in all, ngathi ukufunda ayikho, education is the key to success. So thanks.
So ngicela ke our chairperson ubabu Paul Mashatile, the Premier of Gauteng, the chairperson of the trust, to address us.
Amandla. Matla. Sengathi aniyazi lento. Power. Power to the people. Ndula stulo ke aleboga. Mangibulise bonke abakhona la namhlanje abazali, ama students wonke, the trustees of the Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust, our Member of Parliament, Musane. Normally on a day like this, we also give awards to teachers whose students have done well. So if we see that Alex High, those students who are doing mathematics have done extremely well, we give a teacher a laptop and so on. We don't have all that information now, so we're not going to do it today. We will do it later once we have all the information we need to be able to choose. We also give awards to principals of teachers of schools that have done well. There's a bit of a problem this year in Alex. I don't know, okay, let me say last year. I don't know what went wrong, but there is no school school that got more than 50% pass rate in matric. Am I right, Dipu? I think the highest 48. I know that Alex High 2007, I think they had 73. Now 2008, I don't know Gutuwen Zenja. The numbers have gone down. So we have agreed as a trust that we're going to have a session with the principals just to check what the problem is. We will still, of course, look at which principals have tried their best, which schools have performed better than the others. We do give awards to schools as well. If your school has done well, we do something for your schools. Maybe you need a library at the school, you need to fix a fence, and so on. The Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust helps with that as well. Today is a very important day because I think if we count to date, I'm sure more than 27 students have come through our program. In other words, more than 27 students from Alex have benefited from the Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust, and some of them and the important thing is that some of them are working. In other words, they finished their degrees and they are working. The philosophy for Vincent Tshabalala is that you need to be dedicated, hard work, but also as Vincent Tshabalala, we are a family, we are a community. You never go, you never leave. So all those 27 students are still part of the Vincent Tshabalala family. We do ask you to do something when we give you a bursary. We want you to work in the community. So when you are at university, you're doing your applied mathematics, weekend, come to Alex and teach the matriculants, right? So there are a lot of programs like that that we think you should get involved in because you are a community member first and foremost before you are a student. And that was the philosophy of Vincent Tshabalala. When he was at Minerva High School and he was the leader of the SRC there, he said, I must also participate in the struggle because I want better education. I can't enjoy better education if I'm not in a better society, in a liberated society where my people are oppressed. So we took the philosophy all along to say, remember to be committed to your community. You must be a community worker. You must have a civic responsibility. I was very impressed when Dipuo told me one of the students who's now working requested her for the Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust account because she said, I want to contribute now. So that's what we expect, that when you are done, you start working, you are engineers, you must say, Austipuo Rekopa account. So the important thing today is that we're coming to recognize those who have done well in their grade 12 studies. If you have a bursary already from somewhere, just indicate to the poor, right? And say, I see you've put me on the list, but I already have a bursary. So that we can then take somebody else. Don't take two bursaries. In the course of your studies, we have noticed that some of the companies, they recognize you when you're at university and they come to us and say, we will sponsor this student. Then we don't have to pay for your fees anymore, and it allows us space to support other students. Because there are a lot of other students, in the course of their studies, other companies have taken them and sponsored them. And that has been very helpful. But once that happens, still don't leave the Vincent Tshabalala family. You can be sponsored by other companies, but still come back to us, work with us as we do community work, we teach other students and prepare other matriculants. For this year, you'll see we have increased the fees a bit because of increase in costs. So students who get a full bursary will get 45,000 for the year, so that we can cover tuition, books. I don't know about the other things Isagel was talking about. Be careful of buying expensive jeans with school money. Books first, right? Books, tuition, accommodation before jeans. Those who are not going to get a full bursary, we will at least give them 25,000. At least with 25,000, you'll still buy books and a lot of other things. Maybe you may not be able to live at the rest of the university. You can travel home. But of course, depending on how we improve with our money situation and your performance, we may as well come back and put you on a full bursary. Conditions for qualification. There's a team from the trustees that will interview you. I'm sure they've done that. But you must be committed and be prepared to be a volunteer in the community. You remember that? You must be prepared to be a community volunteer and be able to teach others. And remember that South Africa is a young democracy. During the elections now, you must go and teach people how to vote. Volunteer in those kind of activities and assist in the community. Let me just conclude by reminding you that the bursaries will be awarded for good educational record and passed grade 12 with exemption. That's university entry. You must be financially needy, because it's important that we must help those students whose parents can't really afford. And as I said earlier, the family should make little contribution as they can. I think we have been asking in the past 100 rands, etc., etc. And I'm going to conclude by thanking all of you students who have worked hard. Those of you who are still going to do your matric this year, please remember there is no substitute for hard work. I was reminding some people recently, I was speaking in some meeting, or I was speaking as premier in another function. Government was giving bursaries to 1,500 students. And I was saying to them, you know, when we were at school with both Vincent and Dipua was my junior anyway. I don't know if she did what I'm going to say. We used to do something called cross-nighting. I don't know if you know about that. You learn across the night. You sleep at the school. You study. So, and I used to enjoy doing mathematics at night. As a result, I became the best student at Alexander High in 1982. How many years was that? 10. I was number one in my class and number one for the whole school of matriculants. No substitute to hard work. If you don't work hard, you'll never be number one. You see, today I'm number one citizen in Gauteng. So it's hard work, right? If you don't work hard, you won't be number one citizen. But let me thank you, students, for having worked hard. Thank the trustees. You know, one thing I always want to remind the students is that the Vincent Tshabalala trustees, I think you must know the Dipu Emel. Sizage, you must. Okay, sit down. But I want to tell you something. They don't get paid for what they do. In Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust, you don't get paid a cent to attend the board meeting, to do what we do. We all do it for free, for the love of the community, for you, the kids. So rekopa he le ska report ne, especially al fitla ko university. Le ska ilo jola ko university. Must go and study. We will continue to slog it out. We'll raise the funds. We don't want to be paid. Instead, we contribute to Vincent Tshabalala Trust. Some of the trustees, they have got stop orders to contribute so that you can get a better education, you can be a better someone, you can contribute to building this beautiful country of ours. We want children who are educated, who are skilled. As some of the speakers were saying, if you are not educated, you are not skilled, you're not going to get a job, you'll be roaming around the streets, end up getting involved in crimes, because the jobs that are there, they want skills, they want education. So we hope that you'll work hard, the trustees will work hard. We want to thank all our sponsors. We have people that we work with, Old Mutual, and other sponsors that come, you know, during the golf days when we raise money. People don't have to pay the kind of money they pay to play golf. They can do it cheaper. But we charge them more to come and play because they know that money goes to Vincent Tshabalala Education Trust. There's a man last year who's disabled, who one man gave us $500,000. And he's on a wheelchair. He was sitting there and said, I've read what Vincent Tshabalala is doing. I'll give you $500,000. And a lot of others who give 140,000 and so on. You don't have to pay 140,000 to go and play golf. But they do that because of you. They want you to succeed. So I think we should give a big round of applause to our sponsors, all of them. So principals, vice principals that are here, teachers, thank you very much for teaching these kids. Because if the teachers are lazy, they don't work hard, you know, the children won't succeed. So a big round of applause to the teachers. All right, and a big round of applause to St. Mary's. I hope we can have more St. Mary's to do what you do. It's really good to get students to do what they do. But please remember that you can have St. Mary's, you can have all these things. If you don't stand up yourself and say, I'm going to work hard and succeed, nobody can carry you. And I think the students who have made it are an example of that. And they are not choosing easy subjects at university. I'm very impressed. That young man there, Emel Labawon, he's studying applied mathematics at Wits. So don't go and study biblical studies unless you want to be a priest. But the economy needs engineers, chemical engineers, civil engineers, we need doctors, all sort of things. So please, the range is wide open. If you are hardworking, you will succeed. There's nothing difficult. But Program Director, thank you very much. I do hope that my motivational speech will help you. You see, I'm competing with Maxwell now, the motivational speaker. But thank you very much. I think for tonight, the ceremony now is going to be calling people, giving them the certificates. Siyabonga sisi.
When going around the Kolwe, there is minimal participation in education. You know, the only time in some of the schools, the only time when a teacher sometimes I guess no user. And the next time is when umntana failile uzobuza ukuthi why failing. Ne? They don't even check whether you are still a student or not. Akabuza, akekho sure ukuthi during the year we student or assist student. But ekugcineni konyaka expect ama results from who? You know mina sengiyafunda actually as a grade 5 March. Because I do the homework every day with Undom guys. I do the homework every day with Undom guys. I'm sure I do homework with Undom guys. And it's in the years until it's matric. So can we force our parents to be parents to us? Or should it not first then as far let's request that they participate in education. I'm sure all the matriculants Zala Alex if all of us as parents are involved in education. Presence of my parents that are here, members of the SGP, College here. I've seen Miller is here, and there is mining in big numbers because it's a next door technical college. You hope one next door technical college doesn't mean it is a fundamental, must go to university or technical supplement. So tell again abantu abasivakashela ababalulekile amongst us, and sibonge as if it's Tshabalala ukuthi they've always been there to give us the support. We've got Maxwell Maunganidze, who will be our motivational speaker, and why we've decided to bring Maxwell. Maxwell are people who are successful but they benefited. Despite what there was the apartheid education, they made sure whilst they are fighting the system, they actually made sure that they get educated. We've got the chairperson of the trust, a person who also got his education in Alexander. I'm disappointed that Alex High Ayiko Lab, but they know, who also was actually an activist, a student activist fighting a system. A youth activist also fighting his system. That is our premier of Gauteng, Alexander, Mr. Paul Mashatile. We'll have him as one of our speakers. We also have Musane. You know, he's our MP, MPN. Musane, I started knowing him somewhere in 1989, I think, during the summer education crisis committees. Those people who have contributed kakulu education. So those are the people listening to us as education activists. People who make sure from time to time there is improvement. We intend to establish education. We also have our board member, Mrs. Pam Mandela. She is one of the activists in Alex, also a person who grown up in Alex, but also one of the fortunate ones that are full of people as a Maxwell, just to talk to us about some of her experiences. And after university, scholars actually iskolo impilo yonke. You'll have to get ufunda uzu ufe basho njalo ngesintu. So this is a person who will tell us ukuthi despite the successes anazo manje, he's still working hard ukuthi aye phambili. But Maxwell asimukeleni ukuthi Maxwell.
Honorable Premier, all distinguished guests, members of the board, thank you so much, and all the school children, parents, thank you for the opportunity you have given me just to share with you. My name is Maunganidze. I was one of you in the past, but I would want to say you are more privileged than the time when I went to school. I used to go to school with no food, and I would pick from the ground. And I used to walk so many miles to get to school with no shoes in my feet. And that's why I would say to you, you are privileged. In those years, I learned a lot of lessons, which I'm going to share with you. I term this the 10 pillars of leadership. As we're sitting there, we need to understand that we are all leaders. We should not look upon ourselves as just children or useless somebody. You need to understand that you are a leader in your own right. Why do I say this? I'll just go through some of the lessons I learned through in terms of leadership. What do I need to have? What are the attributes that I need to have as a leader? As you are going to be receiving these awards today, it shouldn't end there. That should be the starting point for another journey. The first point I want to talk about is what we call servant leadership, where a true leader seeks to serve those to whom he is responsible. When you are a leader, you should not stand out and drive the nice cars and forget where you're coming from. When you become a leader, it's time for you to uplift someone and take him along. You also have to have a correct sense of self-worth. You have to be you have to have humility, and humility comes through a confident understanding of your true value. You need to understand where you're coming from and where you want to go to. You also have to have enthusiasm, the force that drives you from within. You shouldn't wait for someone or the teacher to tell you you have to do your homework, you need to do your assignments, you need to go and do the core duties at home to help mom and daddy. It should be from your own self. You should go out and see to it that, hey, here at home, we need to prepare a small garden so that we do not continue to go and buy vegetables from the shop. Because if you look at it, that money that goes to buy vegetables, it's money that you could be given as pocket money when you go to school. There's no one who should say, I don't have enthusiasm. We need to have courage. Every leader has to have courage. If there was no courage, you would find we wouldn't have any leader. You have to be someone who stands up for the rights of others. Like our hero here, Vincent Tshabalala. He stood up for what he knew was right. He didn't give up. He had courage to carry it on. And that's what brings us here today. If he had not stood up, have the courage to stand up against all odds, we would not be here today. So all of us, we are expected to have the same zeal, to have the same enthusiasm, to drive forwards against all odds. We also need to have self-discipline. We need to be disciplined. Because we don't want to be here today receiving awards for greater achievements. Then when you go there to university or wherever it is, you start messing it up. And even the lecturers, they are saying, no, this kid must go back home. We need to be an example to show others behind us so that they can emulate and follow our footsteps. We need to understand that the first and best victory is to conquer ourselves, to change the person within us. The fifth point is about hard work. Anything worth achieving requires hard work. Also, we need to remember, like the words of Theodore Roosevelt. He said, there's never yet been a person in our history who led a life of ease, whose name is worth remembering. Would we remember someone who was born and didn't achieve anything in life and then passed on? Isn't it the people we talk of are people who have achieved something that we emulate and say, because of this, we are sitting in this hall. Because of X, Y, Z, he built this wall. It's something we can talk of, isn't it? We also need to be risk takers. Understanding that the biggest risk in life is to risk nothing at all. If we do not take any risk, we're taking the biggest risk in life. So we need to be risk takers. We need to go for it, regardless of the challenge. In pursuing all these things I've mentioned, we also need to have a good attitude. We need to be positive, to be self-driven, to look at things positive. You know, you hear people like, I give you an example of a frog. You may try it when you go home, but you have to be careful. If you take a frog and put it in a pot and put the pot on a stove, you can boil that pot until the frog dies. But if you take the same frog and put it in a pot of boiling water, you'll find that the frog will jump out quickly. So we don't need to be that like a frog, which just sits there and wait for things to happen. We need to take a step, a bold step to make a change in life. In closing, we also need to look at the big picture. A leader is able to be objective enough to see the big picture in any situation. Let's not limit ourselves. We need to look at the big picture. There is talk that we are now living in a global village. The world is becoming a village. It used to be a monster to look at, but right now we have technology that can help us communicate with anyone in any part of the world. So we need to be limitless. We need to look at the big picture and achieve those big things in life. So in closing, I want to urge you that it all starts with us. Our parents have played their part. This foundation, the Education Trust, is also playing its part to ensure that you do better than those, like some of us, who don't have the privilege and opportunity to have a fund that would support us in our schooling. In those words, I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, parents and school children, and honorable board members. And I want to urge you, as children who are benefiting from this fund, that you need to take it forwards. As you move on, when you start on your big company, you shouldn't look at going in to work for someone. You need to look to start something of your own and say, I want to be the beginning. You need to look at yourself as an employer of others who would come to you looking for work. As you do that, do not forget that the fund, the trust fund, assisted you. It has a lot of other people that are yearning to benefit from the same fund. So we always need to continue plowing back and continue with this initiative that is helping many. Thank you so much.